Welcome. This module is called Make First Offers to Anchor Value. Imagine that you're in the role of a buyer, and you have many salespeople trying to sell you their solutions. In general, would you want to find out what a potential solution costs relatively early in your buying cycle, or wait until later in your buying cycle? Most people prefer to find out what something costs relatively early in their buying process. That's because if you find out it's priced way higher than you feel is reasonable, you won't waste much time on it. Or if it's priced considerably lower than expected, you can likewise save time because now it's a lower risk decision. In summary, buyers generally want to verify early in their buying cycle that pricing falls within a range of reason. Now that you've gained a buyer's perspective, tap Next, and let's explore how making first offers comes into play. For the rest of this course, you're back in your role as a salesperson. When a deal reaches the point when it's time to talk price, do you prefer to put out the first number, or do you prefer that your customer put out the first number? Tap your answer. If you're like most salespeople, you prefer that the customer puts out the first number. In fact, on average, 80% of people prefer the other side put the first number out there. And in sales, there's long been a mantra that says, "He who goes first loses." There's this widespread, almost unquestioned belief among sellers that it's strategically advantageous to let the buyer talk first, that you're foolish to make the first offer. However, there's virtually no research to support that belief. In fact, research has shown just the opposite to be true. The party who makes the first offer tends to get more out of the negotiation. The reason this counterintuitive approach has been proven more effective is because making the first offer creates an anchoring effect. The anchoring effect is a concept from psychology, and it works like this. When you consider where you might set an offer from the low side to the high side, most people think that they'll start here, and then the customer will start here, and will meet somewhere here in the middle. However, it actually doesn't work that way at all. Whoever put their number out there first has a dramatic advantage. If you put your number out there first, and let's say you decide to go out high up here, even if your customer counters down here, rather than ending up in the middle, you're going to end up around here. The opposite is also true. If you let the customer go first, and you still try to use your same starting point, it won't matter. You're going to end up down around here. In summary, when you're in a low power position, you have to take some different and unconventional approaches. One of those is to make the first offer. Research has shown there's a strong correlation between the first offer and the final price, and that this effect holds true across cultures. Tap Next to see an example of how this works. The psychology of this is interesting, because even when you do this properly and get better results, it's possible to feel worse. Here's why. Following your seller's intuition, let's say you allow the buyer to make the first offer. You negotiate back and forth and end up agreeing on a price higher than their original offer. As a result, you feel it was a successful negotiation. Alternatively, let's now say that you make the first offer. Again, you negotiate back and forth before agreeing on a price. This time, the final price is lower than your original offer. As a result, even though you've now agreed on a comparatively higher price and prevented the missed opportunity that can happen by letting the other party make the first offer, you feel less satisfied. This is called the first offer paradox. Making the first offer can feel less satisfying to you, but it feels better to your customer, and it's more profitable for you. Likewise, letting the other party make the first offer can feel more satisfying to you because you feel like you're winning, but it's actually less profitable for you. Your job is to get the most profitable deal for your company while still maintaining a good relationship with your customer. If you want your customer to be happy, start high and let them feel the win of negotiating your price down somewhat, should they choose to. And make your company happy by securing more profitable deals. Now that you understand this dynamic, you can also feel happy knowing that you kept everyone happy while rewarding yourself with a bigger commission check. Why do offers have so much impact? Because introducing favorable comparative data early in your negotiations can expand your customer's range of reason. Now that you're familiar with the anchoring effect, let's practice using it. For each objective listed, create an anchor that would enable you to achieve that objective. When done, tap the light bulb to compare your response. Making a first offer isn't simply quoting list price or throwing out a high number. Now that you've learned it's wise to make the first offer, it's important you also understand the formula for doing so in the most powerful way. First, choose an anchor as high as possible while staying within the range of reason. Second, create uncertainty and make it hard for the buyer to compare you to others. Do so by using insights that reset their thinking and make your offering appear as unique as possible. Third, include justification. A justification statement explaining why can increase the anchoring power of your offer and mitigate customer resistance. Giving a reason is more important than the quality of the reason. For example, let's start signing the contract this Thursday because I know you're in a rush. Fourth, be relevant. The more relevant your anchor, the more influence it'll have on your buyer. Lastly, use precise numbers. Tap next to discover why precision matters when you set your anchor. Research has found that the more precise your first offer, the more it will influence buyers towards your anchor. Conversely, the more round your offer, the less it will influence buyers toward your anchor. Imprecision also invites questions and negotiations. However, in trying to sound friendly, it's natural to want to round up, but proposing something like a 37-day turnaround is much more powerful than saying about 40 days. In fact, a recent study found that houses sell for more when their listing prices were precise. For example, 423,500 rather than round, like 500,000, even when the round number was larger than the seemingly precise number. Now that we've learned the positive effects of making the first offer, here's your dilemma. Do you want your first offer to be accepted? How do you feel when that happens? What's it make you think about your offer? You certainly don't want it rejected, so to get the most out of making the first offer, keep these guidelines in mind. State a price just below unreasonable. If you make too extreme an opening offer, the other party will lose interest negotiating. Your offer should be at or near the highest you believe your buyer will accept. Leave yourself room to move. First offers aren't often accepted. If yours is too low, you won't capture maximum value. Tap next and let's try this out in a couple scenarios. We know that being first to set a price target can create a low power advantage. However, since no two sales opportunities are identical, it's important you situationally evaluate whether making the first offer of price is to your advantage. How would you respond to this scenario? You've learned the importance of making the first offer using a high anchor, and you've learned the formula for executing strategy that effectively. That formula is 1. Set a high anchor. 2. Use insights to build uncertainty. 3. Justify your offer. 4. Be relevant. 5. Use precise numbers. When you follow this counterintuitive approach, you'll capture maximum value.